Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to another match in just a summer tournament. We're going to be getting into a really close one today in round of 16. It is going to be none other than Newson versus klobuck, but with me today I also have Lot. Hello.
Hi, very excited and honored as well to be commentating for probably the closest and most exciting match of the round of 16, being the higher bracket match that is the closest in terms of seed. Look at that, 8 versus 9. What can you even ask for in this economy?
Yeah, and especially with these two players who are insanely strong. I mean, everyone knows Newson as a really strong early game accuracy player, and klobuck skill boosting really crazy these past few years as well.
We shall start the rolls now. Newson with a 92 and klobuck with a 78. A 90 is very hard to beat, so no surprise that he gets the chance to pick the order for here.
Yeah, I mean, really high rolls, but kind of just unfortunate for klobuck. But we are going to see a protect coming from Newson, and I honestly don't really know what to expect out of these protects and bans. I mean, both these players are really strong in every skill set. They're super well rounded, and like we mentioned earlier, Seed 8 versus Seed 9.
Well, it's super hard to know who's gonna win. I think the round 16 is like the point where Newson's act ability and klobuck's raw skill kind of comes to an equilibrium here.
Yeah, absolutely, but it seems like we'll be seeing a Rice 5 protect on Newson's side and a Hybrid 2 protect on klobuck's side, which we're gonna see two Jack focused picks, with Rice 5 being the core Jack pick and Hybrid 2 being a shield / Jack based hybrid, which honestly it's really interesting to see. I would probably think these are like the two most least common skill sets to be protected, just in general.
I think with the right play, those two picks can be beneficial, especially Rice 5. It's a very polarizing pick after all, and Hybrid 2 is just a skill set that kind of blurs the line between LN players and hybrid players, because some tournaments define Shield as an LN skill set, but clearly it's very different in how they play. And also they somewhat favor Jacks, Speed Jacks, and a side of like Rice Rosca as well. A lot of dynamics in play here.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
looking at the bans,
Yeah, seems like we'll be having an LM4 ban and Rice 2 ban, as you were saying, which honestly kind of interesting to see, because I mean, if you see core Jack be protected, you would usually assume something like Rice 2 would like stay, I guess, unnoticed in this sense.
or maybe there could be some sort of strategy in play here. Recall the 8,500 cap on protects. This might be a use case of it. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm not really too sure, especially as they seem to be protecting Rice 5 immediately, which is pretty rare, just in any setting. Picking your protect immediately, but maybe Newson feels extremely confident on a pick like this one, even though klobuck does have really strong accuracy as well. But we'll have to wait and see. 139 BPM core Jack, that's really angry.
This map is no joke. I think if you are picking this, you might be onto a gamble waiting for your opponent to miss, because the angry nature of this map means that you either excel or absolutely tank on the accuracy.
Yeah, honestly, it's crazy to see this be protected, just picked immediately, especially just given, like you mentioned earlier, klobuck's physicality is really strong, and their accuracy as well just being really, really strong, especially if you've been looking at leaderboards. You can see that klobuck's just really strong, and XxNewson just overall being really good at this like early to mid game stage. So I'm interested to see what we'll be seeing, especially on a pick like this one, which, like you mentioned, is really accurate and really failure control focused, especially for a jack pick.
It's also at, I believe, the range, the BPM range, where a column lock can lead to a chain of misses. Very, very deadly in a square attack system like this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially just given that a lot of these anchors start to reach longer than 5 notes, which is a little bit more unorthodox for a lot of poor jack picks within a tournament setting. But it will lead to some interesting matches, at least when you have these closer matches.
It does seem like this might be a safer pick for XxNewson, but that doesn't mean that he's being favored here. I mean, 99.94 is good, but that's still losing to 99.97.
Yeah, definitely gonna be scary material to be in. But we're slowly seeing XxNewson catch up.
Indeed, indeed. And even if this is not a win technically, it is not going to harm XxNewson much. It's only a few hundred scores that klobuck gains if this continues.
Yeah, but as the density picks up, this could potentially be where we see things switch up. As these anchors start to get a little bit lengthier consistently, and you start to see a lot more hand patterns. 700 points.
2 of the best scores in this map of probably the entire round of 16. And it's all within the same matchup from the get-go as well.
Yeah, and we see klobuck half XxNewson's perfect count, which is insane to think about. But immediately going into rice for our dump pick, which is gonna completely shift what we've been seeing. And a 999, I just noticed a 999 for klobuck.
Crazy. I mean, that tends to happen with Jack, but 999 right here, right now.
Yeah, don't pick like that.
And yeah, klobuck facing XxNewson is definitely not an easy situation to be in, and vice versa as well. I think both players might be pretty nervous, so having that start is definitely a solid beginning for both players. No need to be nervous anymore.
Yeah, but we'll see how that goes, especially on a pick like this one, which is going to be a little bit late here, and maybe a little bit on the more difficult side, which could favor klobuck a little bit more, as XxNewson does tend to struggle a little bit once the physicality starts to pick up, and stamina will also be a part of physicality, so definitely something to watch out for.
Right now, the difficulty definitely lies on maintaining your composure, because these streams require a lot of solidity on your hand position. If you feel even a bit mentally taxed, then you may resort to the minimap to increase your accuracy, which is not good, considering both players right now are supposed to be holding whatever this monstrosity is. All above 10-1 ratio, I believe.
Yeah, klobuck sitting at that 0.9 range for quite a while, but they're starting to close the gap just a little bit more. And especially as these parts start to kind of continue on, a lot more of these like more difficult bursts, some of these grace-like patterns. It's definitely going to be a lot harder to maintain that accuracy, but both players seemingly doing it well, as it's starting to tie now.
Imagine if it actually happens. Oh my god. I mean, everyone is holding an SS right now.
Yeah.
Please don't be a curse. Please.
I mean, it is a score attack tournament, so if they tie, essentially nothing happens and we just move on to the next pick.
Nothing happened in this 19th of July, kinda.
Well, when we get to the break, klobuck with the ever so slight advantage. And that physicality might be helping just a little bit more, but we're starting to get into this next section where things are going to get a little bit more trickier as well.
Definitely where your stamina is going to matter a lot more. But it seems like both players hold their composure extraordinarily, exceedingly well. Every axis here. No comments. At Newson, actually having the lead right now, please do not be another jinx.
Yeah, it seems like Newson starts to climb up to klobuck's accuracy as klobuck starts to lower down to what Newson was at. But now we're seeing another tie. Oh!
No, not like this.
And just like that is going to go immediately towards Newson's side. A 5,000 lead.
Only 172 notes away from the end. Well, I guess I did jinx it in two different ways.
Oh.
I jinxed Newson's SS by a 200 and I jinxed klobuck's SS by a miss.
Oh my
I'm quitting
God.
commentating.
I mean, I guess that damage could have been a lot worse, given that it was near the end and we didn't reach the 400 combo cap, so still a scary position to be in, but oh my God.
Newson picking Hybrid 3 might be building from the momentum of this, considering Hybrid 3 is equally, if not more, chokeable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially with like this pick in specific, and also a bit of a newer charter, at least in terms of like the tournament scene. This is gonna be our first hybrid, so I guess we'll kind of see who might have the more bigger advantage when it comes to these elements and hybrids. I mean, we did see klobuck protect hybrid too, so gonna be some scary territory to be in.
So far, so good.
Yeah, so far just a slight lead on the side of klobuck, but we haven't really reached the first course, so too early to really say who has the advantage here.
I did notice Newson might have gotten a 200, so nothing too decisive yet, but it might be some sort of.
Yeah, especially with like hybrid threes. Start to get closer here though.
Buffers tend to release, it seems like. I assume it's because of the tension from the rise parts of the hybrid patterns.
Yeah, it could be, but oh my God, we're just seeing the tie over and over again. On a pick like this, I mean, I know we were seeing them tie on Rice 4, but on the Hybrid 3, I mean, Hybrid 3s tend to be all over the place when it comes to players' accuracies, but we're just seeing them go neck and neck on this.
These are horrendous patterns. I think if they tie, then it's probably because they have the equal 200 and an approximate. What just happened?
Oh, double miss!
Okay, very lucky there's a 10,000 cap here.
Oh my God.
Horrendous misfortune upon you.
An SS from klobuck, holy.
Newson actually beats klobuck in terms of MA, which is nothing short of unfortunate here. Well, I guess the 5,000 gain really got nullified now, and Newson really has to try harder, considering this is now klobuck's pick.
Oh yeah, and with how this went, I wouldn't be surprised if klobuck goes all in on those hybrids and LNs.
It would be very funny, yes. Imagine Hybrid 2.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, there you go, hybrid 2. Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense. I mean, if you see a win on hybrid 3, you're more likely to choose one of those like closer picks.
Yeah, I think Newsom did choke on the shieldy patterns in Hybrid 3 after all. So this is just more shields.
Yeah, definitely a really strong way to go into your protect. And especially just given that you have a pretty sizable lead, so any advantage you can get is always a good one. But let's wait and see. I'm excited to see how this goes.
Oh my god, this hopefully will be the best match so far in Jest.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, as we kind of get further on, though, we're only going to get better matches. But here we go, slowly making our way to the main course of this chart. So far, Acker's still being quite close. Too early to really decide who has an advantage, though.
This one is very all-rounded in choke baits. Like, you have these tech LN sections and braces that can kill your MA or even drop 200, and these shields are where you start to feel a bit tricky. You may miss at any moment without realizing that's just a jazz.
Yeah, but as we continue on, it seems like Newson will be holding on to the advantage for right now with a .92. klobuck not too far behind, but it won't really matter too much if the accuracies are really close, given that klobuck still has that 5,000 lead. I think it might be the controlling parts that might be giving klobuck a little bit of trouble. I think they dropped a 200 on like that one-hand shield pattern.
Yeah, unfortunately there's going to be a lot more in this course. Yep, here they are.
Yeah, klobuck's just gonna have to hope that Newson misses again like they did on Hybrid 3 to really make the most out of a pick like this one, but by the looks of things, it doesn't seem like that will be happening as Newson's starting to get into the 1,000 range.
Well, so this happened.
A miss on the completely opposite side, and that lead's extending more than 5,000. Seems like we'll be seeing that lead just get nullified completely.
And that's not over yet, though. This is where it really ramps up in terms of operation. Even with the limited range of Hybrid 2, these patterns are still very control heavy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. As both players start to drop a little bit of accuracy, it seems like Newson will be getting either 8.5 or 9,000. Yeah, okay, 8.6 thousand lead, which is only going to give them 1,000 score lead.
Well, it seems no wins are from their respective picks so far.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be a good thing for either player, given that no player really has a big advantage, but Newson going to immediately pick Hybrid 1, or stream-based hybrid.
This scene is a complete 180-degree compared to Hot 2. I think this is a lot less chokeable. I think the choke points are mainly in the more control inversely parts. This map does have a lot of LN speed patterns as well.
Yeah, that is one thing to know completely. And especially just given the kind of like junction nature of this, does mean that accuracies are more likely to be a lot higher, and the patterns are also a lot more comfortable, especially being a little bit slower than the jump stream pick. It does give players a little bit of room to kind of adapt to this style of hybrid one.
Yeah, okay, so klobuck is dropping a bit on the speedy LMs. Those were from both early and late releases, it seems. So it probably is the LMs that are tripping klobuck up. Might be a sign for Newson to start picking more inversely controlled LM maps.
Yeah, especially since we haven't gone into any of the Olympics at all. As Newson's holding a tenth of an advantage so far, but along the way as we go into the courses, I mean, we've seen both players just missing back-to-back on the picks.
Yeah, I think it could just be a lot of nerves.
Yeah, absolutely. On a match like this one, I would be so nervous. I mean, especially just given that it's a square-based system. So if you get 1 point, it doesn't really mean much if that advantage isn't huge. But even then, I mean, we've been seeing 10,000 score at games, and it just gets nullified in an instant.
Well, it seems like klobuck is stabilizing. And both players are just going to go steady from here. If nothing happens, of course, we have around 35 seconds left of the map after all.
Yeah, and as things are starting to get a little bit more denser, we're not really seeing much of a difference in accuracy.
Newson dropped a little bit on that price spike, but it's not that much compared to the 0.05, which is now 0.033. And that is it for Hybrid 1. Much closer compared to the chaos that is the 3 last maps.
Yeah, and as that's coming from klobuck, it's just that ratio that's going to make a huge difference here. But it's only 1,000 score lead on the side of Newson, so it's very, very easy to recover something like that in an instant, especially with misses being in place.
klobuck with Rice 3, I definitely saw this coming. Maybe like at the start of the match when klobuck picked Rice 4 instead.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think klobuck only lost it just because of the misses, so if he's able to hold comfortably on a pick like this one, I could definitely see him being able to potentially nullify this score lead.
Yeah, I mean, now that Hybrid 2 proves to be equally risky, I think everything is a gamble at this point, and the best you can do is take advantage of every strength you have in your arms, your muscles right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, on a match like this one, misses are just going to be more detrimental. So let's see how a pick like this one goes that is extremely awkward, even for an abrasive tech pick.
This kind of map is certainly not expected in any tournaments ever. I don't think even NWC or okay, let's talk about that miss for a second first.
That was unfortunate. And even on like the jack part, I don't know, it seems like there might be another issue on Newson's side. Actually, is really low compared to these other picks.
I mean, klobuck is also dropping like crazy too. This map is just hyper mega omega aggressive. Like this style of map is not seen in tournaments ever. At least until now, I think.
Yeah, especially like in this kind of round. But it seems like that really aggressive techie style is going to be in favor of klobuck for now, as they're holding a 10th advantage. And that also doesn't consider the miss on Newson's side, which it was a little bit on the earlier side, but you can see it snowballed into an 8,000 score advantage for klobuck so far.
It could be hovering a bit lower if Newson improves his accuracy, which is happening right now. However, that doesn't mean that the gap will stay that way, as we have not reached the chorus, the main dish of the map yet.
Yeah, this... Ooh, miss on an easier section. It's gonna be really unfortunate on klobuck's side, but they still have the accuracy advantage. Oh!
Back to back. Holy, nothing is stable.
Oh my god, even on the easier sections, we see these players start to trip up just a bit.
I would actually argue that the easier parts are more rooms for errors, and it's happening right now. For such a controlling map like this, it's even more apparent.
Oh yeah, absolutely, but... Ooh, it might get into a 10k scrolling for klobuck though. As we're starting to get into the ending here, accuracies are going to be very, very crucial here. It's getting to 10k! Oh my god.
297. Well, it's not 10k, but it's almost 10k, which is very big. So, Newsom definitely has to do something with this. As
Oh yeah,
always.
absolutely.
I mean, both players have been trying their best to gain back what they've lost. This match has been nothing but nuts.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that miss on klobuck's side, that would have been a very clean 10k lead. But we'll have to wait and see what Newson decides to pick. LN3 it seems.
Entry might favor Newsom a lot, but knowing klobuck and their performance on Hybrid 3, I would say the ACK gap is not going to be that big. Unless...
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Especially just given that this is on the techier side, and it seems like Newson does seem to struggle a lot more on like that trickier patterning. So this could very well be in favor of klobuck potentially. Especially just given Newson's performance on Rice 3. I don't really feel too confident on Newson being able to do good on these more technical picks.
Right now, it depends on who releases better, because this map is very release heavy.
Yeah, absolutely.
As if both players are equal in this regard, maybe Newson has the slight advantage from just having more Allen experience in general, and just sharp shooting, etc. But I know that Newson commented in the chat that he does not like this mapper, aka Jaden, which is unfortunate. I do not condone dissing mappers like this, but it is what it is. Sometimes playing in tournaments make you hate a bit too much when your win is on the line.
Yeah, absolutely. But especially with just how awkward a pick like this one gets, I wouldn't be too surprised if we see Newson missing. Especially just given the fact that this does get a bit progressive as well. So it is something to be wary of.
Dude, 99.80 is Okay. I just jinxed it with a 200. Oh, it's still good at least. Surely.
Surely. Honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised if this goes in favor of klobuck, because it seems like XxNewson might be sight reading this pool, which, I mean, with a pick like this one, the kind of difficulty progression might just feel like it comes out of nowhere.
They're not ready for the 173 BPM.
Oh, yep.
What? What?
Yeah, at this point, I'm not really sure. I mean, I would have expected XxNewson to mess up on a section like this one, just given that they've been missing on these like kind of harder sections, but it seems like klobuck will be getting the advantage here.
What? What just happened? Everything is going so well though. What? Okay, this is just dangerous for XxNewson. Least obvious keyboard drop. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Whatever.
Yeah, we'll be going to klobuck's favor, and it'll be giving them a nice 11,000 lead, as it is going to be klobuck's pick as well. I'm not too sure what I would go for if I were klobuck. Maybe rice 6.
Wow. Speaking of the devil.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I think a pick like this one works really well for klobuck is just the fact that this is the more physical pick. It's harder than the rest of the rice. And XxNewson does tend to struggle as the rounds get harder by a lot.
Anyhow, if anyone is still confused, there will be at most n-2 maps played before the tiebreaker, so excluding the tiebreaker and one unpicked map. After that, if the score gap is still above 27,500, then it goes to the final scoring 8K tiebreaker.
I think it's one pick that gets not one that's not played.
Yeah, one pick, which excludes the tiebreaker, which is why I said n-2.
Yeah.
Anyhow. This match has been going pretty quickly. We have, I believe, 3 more maps before the final scoring, and it has only been 34 minutes, which is very orderly. I like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, with these people who've been playing tournaments for a decent amount of time, tends to be on the quicker side. But as we say that, we're going into... Ooh.
Okay, I think XxNewson can abort right now.
Yeah.
I think please be a bancho.
I don't think it's a bancho.
Oh my god. I probably would just abort right now. It's still in the 30 seconds range. Okay, what's going on?
Okay, I think it's an abort. Yeah, okay.
Good. Yeah, I think there might be keyboard issues.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
And I don't know if it has been too long. It seems like
I think
it has
it's fine.
been...
I mean, it's very, very early on into the chart.
Yeah, I hope it's fine.
Yeah, it should be fine. just gonna have to wait for them to ready up again and get back to this.
Yeah, good to be aware of this early, else it would be too late to do anything. And considering New Sun's 11,000's disadvantage, it's not good to have another incident on top.
Yeah, but seems like we'll be getting into this now. So hopefully no issues this time. Yeah, this replay is definitely gonna help both of them, as klobuck does start a little bit stronger compared to last time. And obviously XxNewson not missing a lot.
This map is very long though, which I really hope no curses again, but a long map means a higher chance, more opportunities for issues to show up randomly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see how that goes. I'm thinking this pick will be a lot more in favor of klobuck. If they're able to hold on to their combo at least. Just given that they are holding a bit of an advantage on the accuracy. But like I mentioned earlier, the difficulty on a pick like this one is a lot more in favor of klobuck, as XxNewson tends to struggle a lot more as it does get a little bit more difficult. So a pick like this one is seen as the almost perfect pick for klobuck.
Yeah, XxNewson's having the advantage at the moment, but it's only been a third of the map. So it's also a matter of stamina control as well. Like, klobuck might be performing a bit worse because it's a stamina tactic.
Yeah, I mean, a pick like this one, I don't think will be too weird for a lot of these players, just given that it is Ska, and I mean, basically every player who's like at this point has played Ska.
Well, this is not good. Once again, I think XxNewson is mainly losing score because of these unfortunate misses, despite having the higher accuracy basically every map.
Yeah, I mean, accuracy is a really important skill set to have, but if you're not able to keep consistent, especially on like picks like these, it's only gonna hurt you a lot more. But it is only one miss so far, so it's not gonna cause that much damage, especially just given that this is on the longer side.
XxNewson can bounce back from here though. The gap is actually shrinking.
Yeah, just a little bit, but I mean, when you're like at this high accuracy, it is extremely difficult to get higher accuracy, unless we see drops, of course.
That is way too many drops to really recover.
Yeah.
Oh my god, these LNs. I think this is why many tournament players hate LNs in Rise.
Yeah, even on like simpler elements like these ones, which in theory are pretty easy, can still be a bit of a trip up if you aren't prepared for them.
Yeah, they mess with your momentum. You're usually supposed to go all out with your draw skill, but these LNs force you to hold back for a moment. And that moment was enough to mess any semblance of salvation left.
Yeah, but as we get into this fun, of course, though, we might see another 10k lead, or very close to it, but ooh, a miss! It's gonna shift it towards 12k!
So many miss. I think XxNewson actually has the better MA, but it seems like this map is way too long to not get nervous at.
7 misses.
Damn. Well, a lot of them are on the LN part.
Yeah, this is a really good pick on the side of klobuck, like I was thinking earlier, but it is going to be Newson's pick now. I'm not really too sure what they'd want to go for. Rice
This
wanted.
one question mark. Um,
I don't
Honestly,
know
it's
about
reasonable
this.
if you can hold your combo because both players are just at equal stance right now in accuracy, no doubt. Newson actually have the better accuracy as well, but if klobuck doesn't miss them, it really is not that much of a game. And the current lead right now is 21.5k, and the tiebreaker final scoring max gain is 27.5k. So it's really bleeding into the danger territory right now.
Yeah, I really don't know about a pick like this one. At least on Newson's side. If it was klobuck's pick, I could easily get this since maybe wanting to avoid the Ellens that are remaining. But I guess we'll see how a pick like this one goes. Especially just given that, I mean, this is a more raw skill focused pick, and we saw Rice 2 be banned from Newson at the same time.
Yeah, and this is also not a very ordinary speed pick. It has a lot of mini jacks and generally non-stream focused patterns, like kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah, this one, like you mentioned, gonna be a lot on more on the trickier side, and we start. Oh, yeah, Newson's definitely. Ooh.
Okay, this is definitely keyboard drops. Again, I don't know if an board would work right now. It might be too late.
Yeah, I think it might be.
And it did happen last time, so aborting right now would be even more ass. Like, you really don't have a reasonable reason to abort anymore.
Yeah, that's gonna be really unfortunate. Yeah, it's not really much that can really be done, especially with just like a really big issue like that one, and especially with someone like klobuck who's just able to do really well. Not sure if that one's client.
Yeah, I think I can know why this happens, and it did happen to me before, but not in the middle of a tournament match. Clover got a miss, but that doesn't even matter anymore, considering this.
Yeah, I mean, almost a 100k lead, which I mean, this is gonna basically do nothing at this point, and it's only gonna give klobuck just more score to work with. But I guess thankfully there's a score cap, so klobuck won't be getting 100,000 score.
Unsalvageable. Anyhow, if this happens not in the middle of the match, I would instantly buy a new keyboard.
Yeah, but unfortunately, this is going to be in the middle of a match, so not really much that you can really do, but hope to salvage it in the next two picks.
Now it officially is a dangerous lead for Klobuck. 30,000. This match would be winnable early. One map early, but that really reduces the risk of playing probably the most unorthodox tiebreaker of the tournament scene of recent years.
Yeah, but unfortunately for Newson, that will conclude the match. A GG well played and good job from klobuck for winning a match like this one. Which means that klobuck will be winning to winners quarterfinals, as Newson will be going down to losers quarterfinals. So it's gonna be a bit scary to see. I mean, one of these players had to go to losers, which is crazy to think.
Yeah, I mean, any of them in the lower bracket is going to wreak havoc. no doubt.
Konkawa versus klobuck.
Yeah, this is spelling, dude. Especially for Klobuck, considering Konkawa is a veteran at this point, having both accuracy and all-roundedness under their belt.
Oh my god, Matcha Latte versus Newson?
Yeah.
I don't know who's winning that one.
This is... I'm looking forward to Just.
Yeah, that is gonna be an interesting match. I don't know who's gonna win that one. Maybe, honestly, I could see Matcha winning that one. They've been skill boosting like crazy recently.
It's only been quarterfinals and we are already having these insane matchups in the lower bracket as well. Like, one of these two players are going to be out. Can you believe it?
That is insane, but that is gonna conclude that match, and we do have another match in 13 minutes, so we won't have to wait too long.
Unfortunately, it is likely I am not commentating for it. So, if it just gets streamed, I will do your best to go.
Yeah, but I guess we can end things off here. We'll be seeing you in 13 minutes for the stream, but Lai and I will be seeing you another time. So unless you have anything else to say, then I think we can end things off.
I'm only looking forward to the tiebreaker now because, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Since the mini egg versus unitary match, I've been craving. Like, that map is just so good.
Oh yeah.
There hasn't been a lot of tiebreaker action this round lately.
Yeah, surprisingly, no. But...
yeah, the final scoring is very common in the previous rounds. Especially this format is supposed to make it happen way more often.
yeah.
But yeah. Anyhow, we shall cap off now, and we'll see you somewhere later.
So, see ya.